One of my favorite ways to connect with life is by doing art. And today I wanted to do some art outside. So I packed my bike with some of my travel supplies, put my bike on the car, and was lucky enough to find a parking garage spot downtown. I started here and really didn't have any destination in mind. I just wanted my heart to take me somewhere pretty. We have a beautiful network of trails around where I live. And today, the trail that I took brought me right to this beautiful little spot. The chairs were so charming and inviting, and the folks that owned this property were gracious enough to let me take a seat in their grass so that I could paint this beautiful scene. I unpacked all of my supplies and set myself up with some of my favorite art tools that I want to share with you. First, these adorable bronze hand clips that I use to keep my pages open so the wind doesn't blow them closed. And then these aspect ratio cards that I cut out of heavyweight paper to make framing simple for myself. My first go at this drawing did not turn out very well. The proportions were way off because in my mind, the house, of course, is larger than the chairs. However, in this scenario where I'm looking across the river, that's not the case. And without proper proportions, I couldn't get the effect that I was hoping for. So I erased it all and started again, doing a little more measuring, and I was very happy with the second layout. But the trail was definitely calling me to get back on it. While I was on the trail, I took a few stops to take pictures for paintings later at home. Admittedly, drawing and painting outside is stressful. So I do like to gather some pictures and take them home for later and work on my composition, drawing, and painting skills. While I was standing along the river, I really had an opportunity to reflect on my perspective issue I had in my first drawing. How I reached into my memory and unconsciously drew the chairs way too small, even though right in front of me, from the perspective I was sitting in, the chairs looked much larger. And it made me ask myself, how hard do I lean on past experiences to inform me of the present? This is easy to do, I think, and fair. Not to paint too dark of a picture, but a lifetime of trauma, heartache, and disappointment can really influence the mind to have a very short set of reference points from which they draw present reality. And I just don't want that for myself. I want to be present in each moment, able to see the beauty, complexity, and newness that is around me. I was told once that God doesn't promise comfort, but He does promise transformation. And I was like, are you sure? But I guess those two things can't exist in the same moment. And I hear there's a lot of relaxing to be done after this life. So I suppose if I had to choose, transformation does win my heart over by a hair. This particular full experience of pushing myself to actually complete a painting outside and this new reflection on perspective felt really, really important and nourishing. So I stuck with it, went a little further down the trail, and found this sweet little spot again along the river where no one was. And I began to work my picture into a painting, blocking it in, then grounding the painting. Admittedly, I forgot to gesso the paper, so it pilled a little. Adding the shadows, and then finally putting in color. I probably could have done much better sitting at home, but I was so pleased with how this turned out. how much joy I had in my heart just taking this adventure. I was pleased with the purples, the greens, the shadows, and so grateful to have the sun setting on my face this day. My heart was softened by these new reflections, and I am so grateful. As an ever-evolving human with a great big thirst for life, I love gathering around these topics and around shared passions. I hope that this video inspired you to get out there and do the things that you dream of that are a little inconvenient, that shake up your perspective, and find ways to integrate the nuance of being an ever-evolving human. Thank you for joining me today. Blessings, and I'll see you in the next one.